Your dog spoke to you 9 times today, without a single word, through a glance, a posture, that one small movement at your feet, and you didn't hear any of it. You brushed each one off as just what they always do. But they kept trying, again and again. They never gave up on being understood, not even when you stopped listening. Because here's what behavior scientists have been saying for years. Every small movement your dog makes is a complete sentence, something they've been longing to tell you, but couldn't. A message. And those messages keep hitting a wall and coming back, unheard. Today, we're going to break that silence. We'll decode the sentences your dog forms every day, what they truly mean, what science has found, and what your dog has been trying to tell you all along. Stay until the end. Because the last one is the quietest and bravest sentence a dog can say. Almost no one notices it in the moment. But you will. Number 1. When your dog won't look away, you look into your dog's eyes and think simply, "How sweet," then move on. But in that moment, something invisible is happening. Something that, to your dog, is close to a reason for living. In 2015, a research team in Japan published a study in the journal Science. They found that when a dog and their owner make eye contact, oxytocin rises in both of them. Oxytocin is the same hormone a mother releases when she holds her newborn for the very first time. So when your dog looks at you, their brain pours out the same chemistry as the bond between a parent and a child. In a way, every time they look at you, they open their eyes to the world all over again. Sit with that for a second. That glance you give 1,000 times a day without a single thought is the same chemical promise a mother makes to the child in her arms. This isn't just a look. It's a silent connection, flowing both ways. And once you notice it, you'll begin to understand what your dog is really feeling. And the next sentence is one most owners feel, but never understand. Number 2, when your dog comes to you while you're sad, you didn't say a word, you didn't make a sound, but your dog stood up, crossed the room, and gently rested their head against you. They didn't guess. They read it. Dogs can detect cortisol, the human stress hormone, through scent alone, even when you show no visible sign of it. And they read more. The rhythm of your breathing, the tension in your shoulders, that faint crack in your voice, the one even the people who love you tend to miss, the one you hide so well. They find it, and they try to mend it. Your dog knew something was wrong before you could even name it. And even though they couldn't fix it, they came anyway, not to solve it, just so you wouldn't have to carry it alone. Because the only thing they had to offer was this: being there, completely, every single time. If this is already changing how you see your dog, take a moment to subscribe. Here, we don't tell you what we assume your dog's behavior means. We tell you what it actually says. Now let's continue. Because next is a behavior most owners read completely backwards. Number 3, when your dog sits with their back to you. Most people think this means distance. It actually means trust. A dog's back is their most vulnerable side. Turning it toward someone is the highest statement of trust they can give. When your dog leans their back against you, they're saying, "I trust you enough to turn my back on you. You are the human I trust most, and the calmest place I know." And if they face outward, watching the room, they're forming a silent agreement. You watch the front, I'll watch the back. Back to back. A dog that never does this is still watching you. The trust hasn't settled yet, but when it does, you'll feel it, without anyone having to tell you. Number 4, when your dog waits by the door as you leave, you reach for your keys, their ears lift, they follow you all the way to the door. For years, this was simply called separation anxiety, and left there. But researchers asked a deeper question. What happens inside that body after the door closes? Within minutes, your dog's stress hormones rise. Their heart beats faster. Their body slips into a quiet, low-level alert. But here's the remarkable part. When a recording of your voice is played, The stress drops almost instantly, not to just any voice, only to yours. Your dog isn't simply waiting, they're holding on to you in every way their biology knows how. To them, you didn't just leave a room, you left their entire world. And for that whole stretch of time, they're waiting for it to return. And when you walk back in, that burst of joy? It's relief, the breath they've been holding the entire time. Finally let go, so they can start living again. Number 5, when your dog sits right on your feet, not beside you, not on the couch, right on your feet. This isn't random. Your feet carry some of the strongest sense signals on your body, and your dog's nose is tens of thousands of times more sensitive than yours. So, when they settle there, they're not just getting comfortable, they're wrapping themselves in the strongest part of you. They're surrounding themselves with the proof that you exist. And if they press in harder when a stranger is in the room, it becomes a declaration. This person is mine. Stay back. They belong to me. This isn't just a habit. It's them announcing to the whole room that they've claimed you, that you belong to them and them alone. And the next sentence is the one the internet loves most and reads most wrongly. Number 6, when your dog tilts their head. That head tilt, the internet's favorite image. But underneath it is something more delicate and more meaningful than you'd think. A study from a leading Hungarian university shows that dogs tilt their heads most when they're processing words that are familiar and that matter to them. By shifting the angle of their ears, they pinpoint your voice more precisely, while seeing your face more clearly at the same time. So, that tilt means, I'm trying to understand you, I'm working out what you're saying, I'm doing this for you. Most animals won't even listen to you. Yours tilts their head and gives the very best they have, just to understand you a little better. In a world where almost no one truly listens, your dog is the one creature still trying to learn your language. Number 7, when your dog sneezes in the middle of play. Once you learn this, you'll never call it just a coincidence again. Animal behavior experts call it a meta-signal, a live translation laid right over the play. Everything I'm doing right now, the growling, the nipping, the roughness, it's all a game. We're still okay. I'm still yours, and I'd give anything for you. Without that signal, play that heats up can sometimes tip into a real fight. The sneeze is a small pause that calms a tensing nervous system. Now, a small experiment. Next time you play, try a soft sneeze yourself. Don't pause the video. Just try it when the moment comes. Your dog's reaction will tell you more about your bond than any sentence on this list. And before we go any further, if even one of these has shifted the way you see your dog, share this with someone whose dog deserves to be truly understood. Because as the list goes deeper, we're getting closer to the sentences almost no owner ever hears. And next is a behavior most owners mistake for hunger. But it's really a quiet test of trust. Number 8, when your dog won't eat without you. The food has been sitting there for hours. Your dog is clearly hungry, but they won't take a single bite until you come near. This isn't them being picky. It's a very old protection protocol. In the wild, eating means vulnerability. Head down, attention scattered, back exposed. That's why meals are shared and eaten only in safe places. One keeps watch while the other eats. Your dog isn't waiting for permission. They're asking you to stand guard. They want someone watching their back while they eat. In their oldest instincts, eating beside you is an act of faith, believing that at their most defenseless, you won't let anything happen to them, and you simply walked into the room. But for them, that was the moment they finally felt safe. Number 9, when your dog rests a paw on you and leaves it there. This is the sentence I promised you from the very beginning. Dogs are built to be ready to move, ready at any second to run, to react, to defend. With all 4 paws on the ground, they're always prepared. That's not comfort. It's a state of constant readiness. But when your dog lifts a paw and lays it on you, they willingly let that readiness go. They make themselves a little more open, a little slower to react, In nature, that's a real risk. The animal whose foot isn't planted is the one closest to being caught. Every animal knows this by instinct. And your dog pushed that instinct aside, not because they forgot it. In that moment, as their paw touched your skin, their nervous system made a decision that overrode thousands of years of habit. I don't need to be ready. Not here. Not with this person. I'm in my safest place. This is the rarest sentence a dog can say. Not every dog grows this close to a human. Not every dog can trust this deeply. This is what it looks like when a dog gives themselves to a person completely and chooses to belong only to them. That quiet, weightless paw, asking for nothing, says only one thing. You are the place I no longer have to be afraid. Now go back and think about all of them, together. The way they hold your gaze, the way they come to you when you're sad, unasked, the way they turn their back to you, the way they wait by the door, the way they sit on your feet, the way they tilt their head to understand you, the way they won't eat until you're there, and the way they rest a paw on your skin. All of these sentences have just one word, and that word is you. When your dog looks at you, they don't see an owner, they don't see a master. They see the one thing all of their biology set out to find. They see you, and to them, that is the whole world. But sometimes the things we do out of love are the very things that hurt them most. The hug, the comfort, the way we say goodbye. In the next video, we'll talk about the things you should never do to your dog. Not the obvious ones, but the loving mistakes almost every good owner makes without ever realizing it. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and tell me in the comments which of these 9 your dog does most. I read every single one, and the moment I see even one, I'll know that the silent sentence your dog has been saying for years was finally heard.